I love Paige to death. Do not get me wrong. I think, like, again, I think she's a hell of a player and, like, would love to play with her one day. But
Yeah.
those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night. Like, you literally couldn't touch her. Couldn't.
What the hell is happening in the WNBA? Sophie Cunningham just went absolutely nuclear and dropped the most explosive bombshell that's about to shatter everything we thought we knew about WNBA officiating. In her latest podcast, the Indiana Fever star didn't just criticize the refs. She obliterated the entire system and exposed what she calls player-focused whistles that are destroying the integrity of basketball. And what she revealed about Paige Bueckers' rookie treatment will leave you speechless. This isn't just about bad calls anymore. This is about a rigged system that protects certain players while letting others get brutalized. If this corruption makes you as furious as it should, drop "refs are rigged" in the comments, because what you're about to see will change how you watch WNBA games forever. Sophie Cunningham just shattered the WNBA's biggest secret with one devastating revelation about rookie sensation Paige Bueckers. And what she said has analysts calling for federal investigation into officiating bias. Listen to Sophie's nuclear statement. "I love Paige to death. Do not get me wrong. I think she's a hell of a player and would love to play with her one day. But those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night. Like, you literally couldn't touch her." Sophie isn't just complaining here. She's exposing a protected class system where certain players become untouchable on the court. When a veteran player says you literally couldn't touch her, she's revealing that defending Paige has become impossible because the refs have predetermined who gets special treatment. But Sophie didn't stop there. She destroyed the league's credibility with this game-changing statement. She's a rookie. She shouldn't get whistles as a rookie. She's going to get some whistles, but to get the treatment she got last night was crazy. This changes everything. Sophie just exposed how the WNBA has thrown out decades of basketball tradition where rookies have to earn their superstar calls through years of proving themselves. Instead, Paige is getting Michael Jordan treatment on day one. What makes Sophie's revelation even more explosive is how she exposed the league's two-tier justice system. Sophie just confirmed what millions of fans suspected. The WNBA operates on a corrupt system where your calls depend on who you are, not what actually happens on the basketball court. She's revealing that some players get protected status while others become targets for abuse. The phrase "player-focused whistles" is Sophie's code for what amounts to rigged officiating. She's telling us that refs go into games with predetermined ideas about who gets calls and who doesn't. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Video analysis from Sophie's game against Dallas shows the corruption in action. Watch as Sophie guards Paige in perfect legal position, arms up, playing textbook defense. Then Paige pushes Sophie with extended arms, sending her backward, and the official gives Sophie the foul. Even respected commentator Rebecca Lobo couldn't believe it, saying on live television, "I thought this was going to be an offensive foul." When veteran analysts are openly questioning calls on national TV, you know the corruption has reached crisis levels. This isn't just a bad call. This is proof of the systematic bias Sophie exposed. The refs literally watched Paige commit an offensive foul and punish Sophie instead. But the corruption gets even deeper. Video evidence shows Paige engaging in what commentators called absolute acting disasters, theatrical dives and flops that would make soccer players embarrassed. In one shocking sequence, Paige takes a shot, lands on one foot, then literally launches herself across the court and lands out of bounds trying to draw a foul. Commentator Ryan Rico called her out immediately, saying she's trying really hard to get a whistle after the embarrassing display. Even the officials couldn't help Paige on that one. The acting was so bad that giving her the call would have exposed their bias too obviously. But Here's the terrifying part. This means refs are willing to help certain players. They just need the deception to be more subtle. Sophie's revelations have opened the floodgates for other players to speak out. Sports analysts are now calling this the biggest crisis in WNBA history, with some demanding federal intervention to investigate officiating corruption. The Wall Street Journal recently published a scathing article calling for government oversight of WNBA officiating, stating that if the league won't protect all players equally, external authorities should step in. Sophie's courage to speak out has given voice to what millions of fans have been screaming about all season. When a veteran player risks fines and career damage to expose corruption, you know the situation is beyond broken. The WNBA now faces a moment of truth. They can either immediately investigate their officiating practices and restore competitive integrity, or they can watch their credibility crumble as more players follow Sophie's lead and expose the corruption. Sophie Cunningham has lit the fuse on what could become the biggest scandal in women's basketball history. Her refusal to stay silent about player-focused whistles has given courage to other players and opened the eyes of millions of fans. The question isn't whether the WNBA has a corruption problem. Sophie's revelations and video evidence have proven that beyond doubt. The question is whether the league will fix it or watch their golden opportunity to grow women's basketball get destroyed by their own corrupt officiating. What do you think should happen next? Should there be a federal investigation? Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe, because this story is far from over. More players are getting ready to speak out.